Today we're going to talk about pattern grading for the front and the back bodice. I'm going to be working with my pattern block that was digitized and corrected, and I first want to determine the size of my base pattern. So to do so, I want to draw my measurement lines as we did with the skirt. Right mouse click, get on the info, and make sure that I have my measurement. So I have my chest girth with a quantity of 2, and then I want to do the same for my back measurement and get my info, again chest girth with a quantity of 2. So I have both of those, and then I go into my report and my measurements, and I will see that it's added up both my front and my back, and I have a total of 38 and 1/16. So that's all the way around, adding both the front and the back together. Now a bust measurement or chest girth measurement should have 3 inches of ease. So I take the 38 minus 3 inches, and that equals 35. Remember, all patterns need to have 3 inches of ease. 38 minus 3 equals 35. So if I look at my textbook, I will see that a 35-inch chest is an size 8 in the book. So my first step is to go to grading, then sizes, and I've already designated that my base size is now a size 8. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do an increase of my measurements. So I'm going to add a size 10, add a size 12, add a size 14. So I get 4 sizes. Now the grade movement that I'm going to show you is for a 2-inch grade. So that basically means that we have 2 inches between our size 8 to 10. So size 8 was a 35-inch bust, 10 would be a 37-inch bust, 12 would be a 39-inch bust, and 14 would be a 41-inch bust. So that's what a 2-inch grade means, 2 inches difference between the sizes. Now every pattern has a 0-0 point, and I'm going to work with the front first. The 0-0 point is a relative 0-0. In other words, that's where the point is going to move from. And on a bodice, it is the neck. In other words, it does not move in both the X and the Y direction. That's what a 0-0 point means. So it should be 0-0. As I come down to the next point, which would be my center front waist, the Y is going to be in 0. So again, it's 0-0 point. The center front, center back does not move in Y. It does move, however, in X. So I'm going to take X. I'm going to use my hands. It's going to move to my right, and so it'll be a positive 1/4. So I'm going to type in 1/4, and I get my grade movement for my sizes. I'm then going to go ahead and copy the grade, go to the next point, and then I'm going to go ahead and paste the X. I'm going to move to my next point, paste X. My next point, paste X. So Y has no movement here. I'm going to my next point, and I paste X. Now when I'm at the corner here, this is where you have your circumference grade of 2 inches. So whenever I have 2 inches, half goes to the front, half goes to the back, and I divide by the number of seams that I have. So I have 2 seams in the front. So 2 into 1 inch is a ½ inch. So I'm going to type in a ½ inch. It's a negative Y because it's going down. So I'm going to type in a negative 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. 1/2. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy the grade. I'm going to move to my next point and I'm going to paste Y. Now my next point, to make my armhole just a little bit bigger as my size increase, I need to have a slight movement on my X. And that movement is 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to select my point as I have right here, and then X is going to go to my right, and so that is 1/8 of an inch. And you'll see that I'm making my armhole just a little bit bigger. I'm going to move to my next point, which is my shoulder point, and that movement is slightly different than the movements that we've had at our other spots. It's going to increase in the X direction, meaning that is actually going to my left. So X actually increases as a -1/16. So it's going to my left. It's -1/16. Y is, it's increasing by 1/8 of an inch. Increasing means it's going down, so I type in 1/8 of an inch. I then go ahead and I copy my grade. I move to the next point, and I can go ahead and paste X. Now Y at this point, which is my high point shoulder, actually only moves 1/16 of an inch. It is going down or increasing, so it's going to be -1/16. And again, I have my 0, 0 point. Now I can move to the back and I can just copy and paste. So I've got my front and I've got my back. And I'm going to zoom in here. Of course, I have my 0, 0 point for my center front. My center back is the same. It is also a 0, 0 point. But now I can go to my waist of my front. I can copy the grade, go to the center back waist of the back, and I can paste the grading. I can move to my next point and paste grading, or just paste X. Next point, just paste X. Next point, just paste X. Next point, paste X. Now I'm at the side seam waist point. I'm going to go ahead and copy my grade and then come to my back, and I'm going to either just paste Y or I can paste the full grade, either one, it's the same. Then I'm going to go to my next point, which happens to be my across my chest girth, or across the back, and I'm going to go ahead and paste my Y grade. Go to my next point, go ahead and paste Y. And again, I'm going to do the same thing where I have selected my armhole, go ahead and copy my grade, and then move to my back here and paste the grading. I'm going to move up to my shoulder point, and for my front I'm going to go ahead and copy my grading, go to the back, and I'm going to paste the grade. I'm going to move to the next point, and that, because there's a dart in the back, we're going to go ahead and paste the Y grading. It does not move on, paste the X grading. It does not move on the Y. And finally, I am at my high point shoulder, so I'm going to go to the front. I'm going to copy the grade, then I'm going to go to the back, and I'm going to paste the grade. So there I have both my front and my back, and I am showing a base of 8. And then I'm also showing 10, 12, and 14. And like we did with the skirt, if you want to use, say, the size 14, you would go back to sizes and assign 14 as your base, and then just go ahead and close the size 8. And so you have your new graded pieces. Or again, you can show all of the pieces. And that is it for grading the bodice front and the bodice back.